Today, we're about to uncover some fascinating and lesser-known secrets about shearwaters. So, without any delay, let's dive right in. Pelagic existence. Outside the breeding season, shearwaters spend nearly their entire lives at sea, roaming vast open oceans with little human contact. Incredible longevity. Some shearwater species live over 40 years, with documented cases of shearwaters older than 55 years. Migratory marvels. Certain species, such as the sooty shearwater, undertake trans-equatorial migrations covering up to 64,000 kilometers in a single year. Dynamic soaring. They utilize a flight technique called dynamic soaring, gliding along wavefronts using the vertical wind gradient to minimize energy use. Shearing. Flight. Their name derives from their habit of flying with wings held stiffly, shearing along the ocean's surface. Unique wing structure. Their long, narrow wings allow for both extended gliding and rapid flapping when needed, even underwater for some species. Tubinose birds. Shearwaters have distinctive tubular nostrils that enhance their sense of smell, crucial for locating prey and breeding sites. Specialized salt glands. Like all procellariiforms, they excrete excess salt through specialized nasal glands, enabling them to drink seawater. Lightweight but sturdy. Their lightweight skeletons and streamlined bodies are evolutionary adaptations for long-distance, low-energy flight. Underwater. Flight. Some shearwaters use their wings underwater to fly when pursuing prey, a behavior resembling aerial flight. Vision adaptations. Their eyes are optimized for both bright daylight and the dim light conditions at sea, although many species have only mediocre vision. Silent at sea. While often noisy at breeding colonies, many shearwaters are almost silent while out at sea, perhaps to conserve energy. Cryptic coloration. Their drab counter-shaded plumage, dark on top, light below, provides camouflage from both aerial and underwater predators. Morphological diversity. Shearwater covers a wide range of sizes, from small species in Puffinus to larger ones in Ardena and Calanectris. Dual flight modes. They can shift between efficient gliding and rapid flapping flight depending on wind conditions and prey pursuits. Anatomical efficiency. Their high proportion of fast-twitch muscle fibers supports explosive bursts of speed for short-distance chases. Adapted for diving. Many shearwaters can dive up to 70 meters, a mysterious capability that only came to light with modern depth recorders. Aerodynamic bodies. Their streamlined bodies reduce drag during high-speed flights, enabling them to cover enormous distances with minimal energy. Thermoregulation. Their dense downy plumage and oil from preen glands help them maintain body temperature in the cold, open ocean. Mystery of the missing predators. Although they're abundant at sea, very little is known about the natural predators that might target shearwaters mid-ocean. 21 to 40. Behavior, migration, and navigation record. Migration. The sooty shearwater's migration route has been tracked at over 64,000 kilometers per year, the longest recorded for any animal. Figure of 8 routes. Some species, like short-tailed shearwaters, follow complex figure of 8 migration patterns across the Pacific. Precise homing. Shearwaters can return directly to their breeding burrows from hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away, often with uncanny precision. Celestial navigation. Experiments suggest that shearwaters rely on the sun and stars to navigate during long migrations. Olfactory navigation. They also use their keen sense of smell to detect dimethyl sulfide, a compound produced by phytoplankton digestion, to locate productive feeding areas and their nest sites. Weather cues. Some shearwaters seem to time their migratory flights with particular weather patterns, though the mechanisms remain mysterious. Nocturnal nesting. To avoid predation, many shearwater species return to their breeding colonies only at night. Moonlight sensitivity. Fledglings often depart their nests on moonless nights when artificial light is minimal, a behavior that reduces predation risk. Massive colonies. Some colonies consist of hundreds of thousands or even millions of breeding pairs, making them among the densest bird colonies in the world. Colony chorus. At night, the breeding colonies produce a deafening cacophony of calls that can be heard from miles away, a mysterious, almost otherworldly sound. Phallopatry. Shearwaters display strong natal phallopatry, often returning to the very same burrow where they hatched. Long-term mate fidelity. Many species form lifelong pair bonds, reuniting with the same partner each breeding season. Burrow architects. They are exceptional burrow diggers, using their beaks and feet to excavate intricate nesting tunnels in remote islands and coastal cliffs. Nesting challenges. Their nesting sites are often in hard-to-reach locations, which has made studying their breeding behavior a persistent mystery. Variable foraging trips. Parents alternate between short, frequent trips and longer, energy-intensive foraging journeys, a strategy that remains under scientific investigation. Stopover sites. During migration, shearwaters use specific stopover sites that provide critical feeding opportunities, though these locations are still being mapped. Intraspecific variability. There's significant variation in migratory routes and foraging behavior among individuals of the same species, suggesting cultural differences. Wind exploitation. They have an uncanny ability to harness wind currents for dynamic soaring, reducing the energetic cost of long flights. Adaptive migration. In response to changing oceanic conditions like shifts in prey distribution, shearwaters can alter their migratory routes, a mysterious flexibility that continues to fascinate researchers. Navigation puzzles. Despite decades of research, the precise mechanisms behind their long-distance navigation remain one of nature's enduring mysteries. 41 to 60, reproduction, development, and nesting. Single egg. Clutch. Almost all shearwater species lay just one egg per breeding season, making each offspring critically important. Burrow nesting. They typically nest in burrows dug into the ground or in crevices on remote islands, an adaptation to reduce predation. Parental sharing. Both parents share incubation duties and chick provisioning, a cooperative strategy crucial to chick survival. Slow development. Chicks take several months to fledge, ranging from as little as 2 months in some species to nearly 9 months in larger ones. Stomach oil. Parents produce nutrient-rich stomach oil, a mysterious substance that provides high-calorie food to chicks and is even used for defense. Downy chicks. Upon hatching, chicks are covered in soft, insulating down, which they later replace with juvenile plumage. Guard phase. After hatching, one parent usually stays with the chick in the burrow for a brief guard phase until the chick can thermoregulate. Energy-intensive growth. The long interval between feedings during the chick rearing period is a mystery that researchers believe is linked to the vast distances parents must travel for food. Burrow. Fidelity. Adult shearwaters often reuse the same burrows year after year, indicating a mysterious, almost instinctual memory of their natal sites. Minimal parental care. Once the chick fledges, there is no further parental care, yet many young shearwaters successfully navigate their first solo migration, a survival feat that puzzles scientists. Synchronous breeding. In many colonies, breeding is highly synchronized among individuals, ensuring that chicks fledge around the same time. Egg characteristics. The single egg laid is typically white and remarkably large compared to the size of the bird, providing ample nutrients. Temperature regulation. Burrow nesting helps maintain a stable microclimate, protecting eggs and chicks from extreme weather. Predation. Risk. The nocturnal behavior of both adults and chicks during the breeding season minimizes the risk from diurnal predators. Burrow competition. In some colonies, there is fierce competition for the best burrow sites, a mysterious dynamic that can affect breeding success. Colony relocation. Some shearwater colonies have shifted nesting sites over time, possibly in response to changes in predator pressure or habitat conditions. Chick weight surge. In certain species, chicks have been recorded doubling their weight in a single night of feeding, a growth spurt that remains astonishing. Long incubation. Incubation periods can be as long as 55 days in larger species, one of the longest among birds. Nighttime departures. Fledging usually occurs at night to avoid predation, Yet the chick's ability to navigate their first flight in darkness remains partly mysterious. Burrow restoration. Some species actively maintain and restore their burrows between breeding seasons, a behavior that is not yet fully understood. 61 to 80. Diet, foraging, and ecological interactions. Diverse diets. While many shearwaters primarily eat fish and squid, some species also consume crustaceans and zooplankton, reflecting diverse foraging strategies. Multiple fish in one beak. Their unique beak structure allows shearwaters to hold several small fish at once, a remarkable adaptation for efficient feeding. Plunge diving. They are expert plunge divers, capable of diving to impressive depths, up to 70 meters in some species, to catch prey. Hydroplaning. Some species fly underwater using their wings like oars, a technique that is both efficient and mysterious. Bycatch threats. Their foraging near fishing vessels puts them at risk of being caught as bycatch, a threat that continues to puzzle conservationists. Following predators. Shearwaters sometimes follow other predators, like dolphins or whales, that drive fish to the surface,